and welcome. I so I was drawing and for a friend. I wanted to practice some sketches, and I was like, "Hey, give me your character real quick, because I want to practice some stuff because she has a very complex character, especially the helmet. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of cheated. Notice how these are kind of the same. Nobody will notice that. It'll be fine. I hope you can hear my drawing. Oops. So I figured I might as well actually. I should have probably done this at the start, honestly, but I was sketching away and I figured, hey, what if I make this an ASMR video, you know? Because I like those drawing ones. I don't know if you can hear my tablet or not, though I'm just drawing on it. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but yeah, so anyways, this is Pollux's character, also called I never know how to pronounce this, Hayukana. This isn't, I think this is, I can't tell if this is their drawing or not. I think it is. But yeah, this is my reference, and then all this stuff. But I figured, hey, they do coloring, so why not? And that's my favorite part about a lot of artists draw because they like drawing. I have this weird thing with drawing, honestly, where I draw because I can't pay others to do it for me. And you have to keep that skill up, like it's a skill like anything else. And I've only started liking where my drawings are because I've just given, like, I'll use Clip Studio's 3D modeling. But even then, it's still like this from here to here. It takes a lot of skill, like if I can just, okay, never mind. This silhouette is really good, though. I'll give it. I made a very good silhouette, I'd say. I need the character gone, and then, all right. So I was just filling everything in so I can color easier. So there's a lot of red, actually. So I'm gonna move this. You're not gonna be able to see this now, but this is off to the side, so I know which parts are red. So a lot of there's not much red, actually, but a lot of I've been screwing around also a little bit with the remembering. Like, as you can see, I have 2, 5, 12. 2 is very small stuff. Is that red? No, it's a bit darker. Let's not do that. I was figuring out what is my shading brush and everything, and which one is my, that's red as well. So is this. That's not red, that's the color of the. So one thing I saw, actually, that I thought would be cool is to maybe, once I do the base shading, maybe I should color in a different, yeah, that's actually what I'm going to do. So if I drop this down, I'm going to draw everything in a darker color, because I saw this cool thing where it's like, rather than drawing the shadows, you draw in the highlights. And I was like, that's cool, It's kind of actually, you know what? No, I can do that. I can do the revisionist method, which is cool as well. If you've ever seen it, I'll show you guys in a second. I need to draw this. I forgot. Does anyone else watching this? Does anyone else draw? That's yellow. There's actually not much red here, which I thought like there's burgundy, but in terms of pure color red, there's actually not that much red. It's mostly highlights and then the one time on the shoulder pad. This is red, okay. I kind of changed some things about the character. Like, I put a jewel on the crown because I don't know why, but it kind of looks like the perfect spot in the drawing for a jewel. These are red. I gotta delete. I gotta erase these. But yeah, so I've struggled a lot with drawing because I was never growing up. I wasn't the artistic kid. My brother was actually, but ever since I started YouTube, and I saw people were drawing their thumbnails, I was like, man, I really want to do that, you know? Rather than just have like my face or whatever. Like the thumbnails tell a huge story. And I think that's really cool. Especially like the Goons and Blarg and then the Vanoss crew. Is a lot of gaming YouTubers kind of draw their thumbnails. Now for ASMR, honestly, you don't really need it. I've never seen a drawn thumbnail for ASMR unless, of course, it's ASMR like coloring, you know. What's next? Oh, yeah, there's still this thing here. I hope you guys are enjoying the lore videos, by the way. I really like actually making those. One thing I've learned to realize with art is to stop caring as much. Like, yes, learn the rules and practice, but everyone's always like, oh, you gotta know. Just cheat. You'll learn a lot better. Everyone always says, or it's not cheating, sorry, just reference a lot, you know, reference as much as you can, because honestly, most people aren't gonna learn by like doing the boxes, you know, like there we go, like, there's a box, you know, and then like shade this, and then boom, it's 3D, but you're gonna learn a lot more from, no tracing, by the way. Tracing isn't what I'm talking about. Like, if you see when I do the sketch, I still follow the path and I figure out, like, okay, this here comes in a leg part, always kind of comes in threes. And then fingers, this really helped me. Finger parts always come in threes. I try to basically always give yourself a rule, you know. Everything kind of comes in threes, you know. That's like, and then you can break it further down if you just make like separate parts, like, you know what I mean, like this is one part. I did this because there was I needed to figure out like where the half of this was, you know, to figure out where the diamond was. So this doesn't really need to be a thing, but a lot of body parts come in threes, and it's very surprising, but the chest comes like very far down. Like the neck is pretty long actually, and then the chest comes down here. This I still need to learn, so I'm really happy about Clip Studio Paint with this. As you can see, I had the hand make a fist, but then I realized that's too small for the sword, so I had to make it bigger. But as you can see, like 1, 2, and then 3. Always make it threes, and basically these are all kind of the same sides. And then one thing I tried to learn honestly about foreshortening was the spiral method, but that didn't work for me, so try to use as many tools as you can. One thing that really helped me actually was figuring out the hips. Basically, you draw a sumo belt, and then the legs kind of make just a nice little square here, and then you can just connect. So from anywhere, so like if you just make like this is a rough draft, obviously. It's not like this, but anytime you do this, just make some boxers, and then you can draw the legs from anywhere. See what I mean? It's like you can connect the legs from there and such, which really helped me. Feet I still need to work on. I draw the base. I draw like the simple shape of the heel, the toe, and then I don't know what this part is called here, but yeah, so you can see like a lot of stuff comes in threes, like this leg here. 1, 2, and then the knee, and then back to this 1, 2, 3. And then try your best to. The reason I do threes is because most of the time they're the same, except for the knee. Sometimes the knee, just make like a little circle, and then connect that in between, and then boom. There you go. See? Perfect. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that real quick. Sorry. But look at this silhouette. This thing is perfect. Like I immediately know, like it's kind of blurry here. The coloring makes it look super cool, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, this is red. Alright, this piece here. Oh, that's a tree. Actually, one time I want to use these and see if I can't make like a landscape. That'd be pretty cool. Make a happy little landscape like Bob Ross used to say, happy little trees. It's always funny. I never actually watched Bob Ross in an art class. My teacher in high school used to put up Bob Ross videos in our like AP science class. I really liked drawing. When I went to welding school, after I graduated high school, I worked for a bit, and I worked for like 2 years before COVID hit, and that was actually an incredibly dangerous job. Like it was just security work, but it was at a hotel, and I actually dealt with. It's also red here. Oh yeah, this this part is red. I actually dealt with a shooter, and I was so tired that my dumbass decided to like take her down. Everyone always says it was bravery, but honestly, no. I was just so tired, and had been dealing with her the whole night. That I finally was able to just. I just said, "Oh, God damn it." I was like, what is happening now? Not like I heard the gunshots and she was right there. So I was like, screw it. I'll take her down. And she was actually a pretty bigger woman. But anyway, so I got her down. And what I hadn't realized at the time was that there was like several nurses there and everything. So all they see is this big guy just running down a hallway about to tackle this shooter and whatnot. And so what ended up happening was they actually told the cops and nominated me for a Courage and Bravery Award. Okay, this is also. And I didn't know about that until like a week later, where I got a mail in saying that I had been nominated and had won Courage and Bravery. And that was super cool because I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize you could do something like that. Anyways, COVID hits and. Oh, this is. Okay, I'm just going to do this real quick. I'll draw over that again. Anyways, COVID hits and I decide, hey, once COVID is over, I'm going to go to welding school. And honestly, I loved going to welding school. Welding school was really good. Turned out I've always had anger. This is gonna be a tangent, but I'm gonna come back to I promise this will make sense in a second. Turns out I've always had I've always had anger issues my whole life. And one of the things about the anger issues was that nobody could figure out where the hell they were coming from, because they thought I had ADHD, and turned out nope, don't got ADHD. And then they thought I had autism, and it was like nope, don't have autism. Like they tried every mental disability or illness under the book that they could try. And after a while, they were just like, okay, he's just got anger issues for some reason. And we just had to kind of put up with that. And so it wasn't until actually last year that I kept getting these deja vu headaches that actually really hurt. Like they were almost making me pass out and everything. And sorry, I'm just looking. What color is this? Okay. And so I finally went to the doctor. I'm like, hey, I keep getting these headaches. And one of the doctors was actually like, that sounds like seizures. And I'm like, no, I'm not convulsing. And they're like, oh, no. There's a form of seizure that just you're awake when it happens. I'm like, well, that sucks. And he's like, have you ever had a history of seizures before? I'm like, yes, I've had febrile seizures growing up as a child. And people thought they were done because those febrile seizures were obviously like actual convulsions and everything. And so anyways, he signs me up, like he refers me to not a neurosurgeon, a neurologist. And the neurologist is like, yeah, we'll test you. Wait, whoops, this is yellow. He's like, anyways, yeah, we'll test you and whatnot. We'll put you on this medication because basically the medication is slightly dangerous. Because if you don't have seizures, it gives you seizures. And which is interesting that a medication meant for stopping seizures will give you seizures, But it will stop your seizures if you have them. And that's what it did. So I'm stuck I need seizure medication, everything. What am I missing here? That's red. Actually, there's not much red here, so. But anyway, so what ends up happening is I take the medication and the seizures stop. And what also stops is my anger issues, like my explosive stuff. And I went to go back to my neurologist. I'm like, hey, one of the cool things about that medication you gave me was I no longer get super angry. He was like, oh yeah, one of your anger outbursts are maybe seizures. Yeah, so it turns out every time I kind of had an outburst was because not like basically it wasn't, oh, I got angry or whatever, and then like that was always the seizure, but because I had so many seizures growing up, because they were just always in the back of my head, because some seizures just happen. A lot of it's very random what kind of shows up as a seizure. There are seizures that people just stop doing anything, and they're called absent seizures. So basically I was having like sort of mini seizures or big seizures that was causing me to not be able to control my emotions correctly because it was fucking with my head. And so what ended up happening was once I stopped having seizures, obviously, I was back to what is basically no anger issues and whatnot. Sorry, I'm just there we go. And that was super cool because it was weird because I thought I was going I was like, oh, maybe it's just not like it's just during work or because I've been off work as of lately and maybe I'm relaxed. But even when I went back to work, everyone was like, "Man, you've really changed. Like you've become like really happy all the time and everything." I did have to swap medications because it turned out one of the medications was actually making me way too like increasing my weight way too much. Like I'm talking, I was 340 pounds, and now I'm off the meds for 2 months, 3 months or so, and I'm back to 280, which is my healthy weight. But anyways, so the reason I bring this up is because during welding school, I kept having these seizures, and obviously, flashing lights don't really help, especially bright light from the welding. And we were doing a specific type of welding that actually set one of my seizures off, and kept trying to tell the teacher, I'm like, hey, can I just fail this? Like something's wrong with me. I'm just completely screwed. I can't do this. It's making me dizzy and everything. He's like, oh, just suck it up. And he was a good teacher. I will say that he was an amazing teacher. I just fucked up so badly or whatever. And anyway, so I'm helping him, and I finally just break and scream at him and call him a piss poor teacher, and that really sucked because I was almost done. I was almost graduated, you know. Were the jewels red? No, they're just. Oh, I forgot to color this. Anyway, so I get swapped over to a different welding class and whatever. But during that time, not during the time I was swapping, but during the time I was, what's the word? During the time that I was, like with this teacher, one of the classes he said was actually, he was like, oh, this is really hard for people most times. And it was blueprinting. And blueprinting is basically just drawing certain welds and whatnot, and drawing like the, what's the word? Like how the thing was put together. Basically, I was making blueprints. And because of my art background, the fact that I had this skill, I was able to see all the drawings in my head in 3D, because basically, I'll make a new file, new. Basically, we would get pictures, like, I'll make the easiest one, which is just like, this is an isometric view, by the way. So, we'd get pictures like this. And it would be like, so you draw it like that, you know, and then you would have to do this. So this is a fillet weld, but you wouldn't draw, like at first he was having us draw the fillet weld, but what you're actually supposed to do is, you're supposed to just draw the shape. So I'll get rid of that. But you're supposed to draw the shape of the weld. So off to the corner, you would put an arrow like this. And so this is, I think this is inside, and this is outside. So outside weld would mean here, inside means here. So when you do it, basically kind of there was a writing to it. So I forget what 45 degrees was, but 90 degrees is just do that. See how it makes like a 90-degree angle. So it would ask, hey, do this weld. If you see this, grind it out, grind it flat. There was a couple, if you do this, grind like 45 degrees or whatever. And then if you see this, it's 180 or not 180, I think it's 120. And then it'd be grind on the inside, and then you would write your name, you know. So basically do a fillet weld here. And I was able to do this, but the trick is it wasn't just drawing. We had a grid basically, and each grid equals, I think it was just 1-to-1. It was basically like if something was 1,000 centimeters or whatever, it wasn't centimeters, it was sometimes meters or whatever, basically just units of 10, the good shit. It was each one would just count as either 10, it was either 1, 10, or 100 or whatever, continue on from there. And so then you had to draw this, like this thing, it was like, it would give you a measurement. So this and this, let's say, was like 100 centimeters big. I know that's not big at all, but basically same thing, 100 centimeters. So then what you would have to do is draw that actually. So let's actually say that the ratio would have to go here. I know I'm supposed to draw, but I really like talking about welding, but the ratio was 2-to-1. So that means for every 100 centimeters, you'd need 50, actually. So each block, basically, let's say it was 25. So that means you would do this. You would fill in 2 blocks, and this is the side view, by the way, and then fill in 2 more blocks. And then you would do the same thing. You would say, hey, this is 100, this is 100, and then you would point the arrow on the inside and then do the exact same thing of T, grind it down, and then there were some other symbols. I'll have to Google them anyways, but yeah, basically. And then you'd have to do a top view, which was also the same thing, but say this was actually longer. So let's say this was like 300 centimeters. So you would have to do longer and then do this. And that was the top view. And then if there was something underneath it, say like this was actually like this, so it's just one big block, you would actually have to color this in with, and then dotted lines underneath showing that, hey, there's something under it. So you'd have to do all that plus a front view, which is just this part here. So all that stuff that you can see right there, you'd have to draw as well. So like this basically, and then choom 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 like that. See, and then that's front view or whatever. But yeah, so anyways, I actually got 100 in my class because of it. And I was actually teaching, what is it called? Okay, that's got to be darker. Let's actually make this blue. Use more blues. No, there we go. I was actually helping, and if you guys know what Kahoot is, Kahoot's like this quick little mini game that your teacher can put up. And it will be like, hey, what's this symbol and whatever and whatnot, And I actually got, I gotta watch out because half this stuff, okay. Sorry about that, my cat's playing. I would always remember the symbols and everything, and it was to the point that right at the, I would always win it, which was interesting because I could see it, I could see the symbols and whatnot, and I know the drawing part was hard, but it's like, it was like, I didn't understand how people didn't know the symbols immediately, because they're simple. They're literally like, hey, they're very simple, and so I didn't know how people didn't get that quickly, but it got to the point that right after, on the last day of blueprinting, people just gave themselves my name so that they could say they won, which was the funniest thing I've seen in a class before. And I truly regret getting explosive. All right, the flames are blue. Oh, lavender, never mind. love color theory. I was like looking back and I'm like, that's not the same color. Alright, gotta do the fire here. And back when I was younger. But yeah, when it comes to art, one of the things that really helps is everyone always says go with the flow. But like, it's hard to understand what the flow actually is. And it's always different for everyone else. But for me, going with the flow, at least at the start, is not giving a shit about rules. You know, just drawing what you feel like. And then what ends up happening is then later you fix it, you know? Like for a bit, this sword was way too big, you know, and I was like, oh wait, the hand's not gonna work. So I decided, I'll fix it in, later. I know, like, this is just for digital, by the way, because, traditional, it's kind of harder to fix, because you're gonna have to paint over stuff again. But even then, it's like, a lot of people aren't gonna see the issues. It's, and the reason I figured this out is because, if you check out The Simpsons, their old versions, you can tell there's a lot of issues, you know, if you're looking for them. And one of the things with The Simpsons is because to make up for that, they put a lot of emotion in their. Is that red or. Oh, that's like a. Oh, it becomes like a pink. That's cool. I'll have to draw that. One of the things with the. They knew their weak, like, quote unquote weaknesses, you know. But honestly, they made up for it because they made huge, big motions, like compared to modern day, where it's technically speaking, skill wise and proportion wise, it's actually really, really good. But it's very stiff because they've made tools for this, you know. I gotta make this pink because there's actually a flame here. And I think about that lots because I don't have good proportions, you know. I don't really have that kind of style. But the one thing I make up for it is like colors and shading and stuff, you know. Like sometimes I screw up the shading, but you can kind of just do whatever. Sorry, I just gotta. It kind of transitions from. There we go. I'll just transition there and then hard shadows. And just a little bit here. There we go. Perfect. There we go. But anyway, so I think with my coloring and everything is you should figure out what you really like doing and try and take that to the best spot, like your best ability is what I'm trying to say. Like I really like coloring and shading and everything. I'm not good at proportions, so that's why I use a model. And then when it comes to coloring, I try to be vibrant. The reason it's not so as vibrant and I'm not choosing the colors is because I'm going off reference, obviously, which you should always do. Like it's like, hey, I don't know how this cloth, I don't know how these pants like work, you know, but like I don't like saying, hey, I don't know how jeans fold or whatever. Like how would these like cinch? These are tight skin pants, so these aren't gonna do as much. Basically, they're just gonna go in the crotch here, but that's about it. Oops, I forgot to color this in. And I'm not good at line art, so I honestly avoid it unless I want to practice, you know, like you should still practice the things you don't like doing in terms of art, but when you're just trying to enjoy the art, you should really just focus on the thing. So I like coloring and shading. So sometimes I'll do the sketch, color it, and then actually like just draw over the line art or draw over the sketch, and chisel it out from there. I won't even do any line art. And that's what I mean, is like that's how I go with the flow. Is sometimes I'll just skip a step. They're like, oh, do sketch then line art. It's like, no, I got a painterly style, I don't need to do I don't really need to do line art. Oh, this part. It's like basically, and even like this right now, it's like, I don't think I'm gonna completely shade over this, but it's like I could remove the line art if I wanted to. That actually looks really cool. I'd probably clean that up, but yeah, so it's like I could remove the line art and clean it up from there. One thing I like doing is also you can lower the opacity a little bit, But sometimes I'll straight up merge. Oh, that's weird. I'll straight up merge the line art, and then I'll shade there, because this is like, oh, this is the dark spot, So I'll just put some there, and it'll become my shadows. You know what I mean? All right, what am I missing? Oh yes, the boots. I don't know what these are actually. Whoops, I should probably. There we go. I don't know what kind of boots they are, but they're kind of hive. Pollux doesn't have. This is a Destiny character, but they custom kind of made this armor, if you know what I mean, because this is like, all this is supposed to be like different types of armor. Like this is Dragon Shadow, but there's no Dragon Shadow that looks like this. This is another exotic Worm God's Caress, and there's nothing that looks like that, so they just have a custom look, which is really cool. We need the skin colored face. Kind of reminds me of a what are they called? Power Ranger. Sorry if you guys can hear that. If somebody's in the washroom, it gets really loud. That's not even my computer. That's just straight up my thing. But if you notice, like, I have all this stuff here. Could probably fix this, honestly, but like, there's all this stuff here I could clean up, but I think that adds style, so. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, I forget what his name is. It reminds me of that dude from the 7 Deadly Sins. Escanor beats him up like almost immediately. Basically, you just keep battling him, and whoever runs away gets turned to stone. And back when I was younger. If you guys know who I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm just adding in the little shine, Oh yeah, I gotta add the diamond to their head. Shine bright like a diamond, 'cause shine bright, 'cause tonight you're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Appears like they have a gradient, so. But yeah, it's interesting when I always tell people that they're like, oh, why do you draw? Do you enjoy it? I'm like, 50-50 sometimes. Um, but yeah, I was like, I draw it because I can't pay people. It's like that's the same reason. If I had a lot of money, I would be the laziest person around. Which is sad. I'd probably just like I would probably just work out. And everyone's like, that's not lazy. I'm like, yes, it is, because that's all I would do. Work out and play video games. I'd pay others to draw for me, and then I'd have nothing. I'd have no, like, personality, you know? Working out would be my personality. Alright, so they actually have, like, a thing here, so soft shadow. There we go. Okay, did I miss anything? What do you got? Oh yeah, I have to draw. I have to draw this. Drawing the. Oh, that's 2. There we go. Should probably actually. One thing I like doing too is removing. Is chiseling out the drawing, you know, rather than adding to it. It's like, why would I have to erase anything? See, look, there you go. Now it's over. Actually, let's do that. There we go. That adds. You can't really see it, but it's there. Perfect. All right. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. All right. What should I do now? I guess shade it, huh? All right. So the way shading works is I'm actually going to group these and hope this works. I always forget. Create folder and insert. All right. So what's that? Oh, whoops. That is I need that. That is that. There we go. All right, and I'm going to hope always forget. Ooh, I always forget if this works or not. Okay, that does. All right, so because there's a lot of red here, we're gonna use blues, and basically, oh, I gotta color that in. We're gonna use blue here. We're gonna multiply. I'm going to turn that down. And now we're going to use soft shadows and quickly find where the light source is. So I basically have to get. I just realized, where'd my brush thing go? How did I delete that? Whoops, my brush properties went bye-bye. Subtool detail, there we go. I don't know where the heck. Why won't you fit in there? I do not know why this won't fit in there. Oh wait, no, that's not what I want. Whatever, I'll just have to deal with it. All right. So I'm thinking that the lighting will actually come from the sword. So if I do this, and then just erase slightly, get rid of that. So lighting's gonna come from the sword. So the sword should be just no shadows, basically. And we make this smaller. And we fully erase around the edges. And then we increase just a little bit. There we go. And then I do that again. Same thing, just erase a little bit more each time. But I do not want that. All right. Next up is we add a glow. No, that's not what I want. Add glow. And okay, so we do the highest colors. This is going to be pink and blue because we're going to actually use the sketch layer here. Actually, no, we're going to have to use the soft shadow. The reason it's pink, oh, I guess we can't. We're going to have to use the sketch layer at a bigger size. Ooh, what the heck. And the reason it's prismatic is because we're actually going to wrap around and that glow, and then we're going to delete some of that. Doesn't really matter what we delete, so long as we just get rid of some to chisel it out. And keep that there. And then if we add a white, you basically just add a white to do the borders and everything. Let this flow. Follow the path. And we're actually going to have it come back in. I see. Oh, I didn't add the glow to the handle, which is fine. All right, now we're gonna add some pink because this is prismatic and this has pink to it. So we're actually gonna add pink to the. We're gonna have to draw those again, but whatever. Helped me find where it's going. And maybe some orange, actually, why not? But just a little bit of orange. Shooting off of the sparks here. Alright, gotta add in back in that. But as you can see, I'm being really messy with it, you know. Doesn't have to be a lot. And then yeah, perfect. And then what we do is now we add back in the hard shadows. I need to make these a bit bigger, honestly. No, this is too big. There we go. be fine now. Okay. Cover a lot. You gotta add white to the tips, because we're actually gonna do a bit of silhouetting here, because this is actually some of the lighting should come from here as well. We're gonna some of the, I don't know what I forget what it's called, but basically it's here, so it'll like go through, you know. And then just add some texture. We're gonna, and since this is such a bright light, we're actually gonna do this. Oh, this needs to be a different color, because gotta go through the folders. There we go. The heck? Oh, wait, that's the coloring. There we go. Alright, now close the folder. But yes, for some this needs shading a little bit more, because while we have a generic shadow, we don't have shadows governed by these areas, basically. So this just needs to be pure black. Never be scared to use pure black, by the way. I gotta delete, chisel out more of this, though, because I do need to leave that, though, otherwise that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, so now what we're doing is we are adding the shadows caused by the objects. Like basically, like think of it as a plane, you know, so like the light's hitting, so it's not gonna hit here, you know. Oh, that's not, I need a yellow. That is supposed to be gold. This is a bit too. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly add some more shadows. Now here is when I kind of don't here's when I kind of don't use multiply layers or anything. I kind of just mix the colors together, if you know what I mean. Really, I think helps my style. Helps the Neutron style. Alright, time for some soft shadows. These are the same brushes, by the way. They're just one's a bit Obviously softer, it helps blend easier. I think the cape is a bit too much, so let's just turn this down. Soft shadow, C. And then we'll just add some more blue there. Alright, I gotta use a hard shadow here. Let me just soften that. Gotta make that, and then see, this is where I screwed up. It's too dark. So if I just, there we go. Now time to add the metal texture. When did I do that? Is that a glow? It is. I don't need that. Hold on. Alright, I have to end. I need darker. What the heck? Man, this really does not want to. I need a different multiply layer. That's annoying. Okay, add on top. And multiply. So I do this. There we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to add some dimension to this, you know. That's got to be a different color. Let's try green. That works. And then when we add the glow, we'll make this a yellow. And then back to this layer. I gotta do the glow again, otherwise it's not. Where's the mold? There it is. I need some red. Let's use the red for the shading, because blue's a bit of a mess. I don't know how. Alright, gotta color that in. There we go. And then this is also a plane. That's my issue. That's what's happening, is I'm forgetting about these planes. This is a dark, so I can just color this in. And this dark as well. But yeah, that's what I'm forgetting, is these are planes, so. See, that's the issue, honestly, that I have in my drawings, is trying to find out where all the shadows go, you know? No, they gotta go more here. I always get so scared about shadows that sometimes I forget, like, you can be pretty exorbitant with the shadows as long as you kind of sketch it out, you know? And honestly, I think the blue wasn't a good idea. That cape really doesn't work. I don't know. Okay, time to reference. Cape shading. Let's see. How does a cape look? Let's find out. See. I guess actually it'd be better if that was all black, because technically speaking, there's not. And then just a little bit of the glow. The one thing I don't like about this brush, honestly, is just is if the brush gets too big, it just causes some issues. Alright, I gotta be more. Yeah, there we go. That looks way better, I think, than. Yeah, that looks way better. See? You just got a reference, you know? And then to draw I don't know what to do about the bottom part. But yeah, one of the issues with this brush is if it gets too big, it kind of, like, if it's like this, it's fine, but if it's like this, it's got that jitter. And I don't know how to fix that, I'm not gonna lie. Basically, I just kind of have to draw with the. There we go. do have to clean up the lighting. That's the issue here, is the lighting is a bit too... There's too much going on, you know? It's causing it to get muddled. Less sometimes is more, especially on fabric. That's one of my weaknesses too, is fabric. And add some pink. I need a prettier yellow. I don't know how this became like a sickly yellow. Let's make these yellow. Might as well make these gems, you know. Little pizzas. Oh, I forgot there's... Need some shading here. Under the helmet. And this is where I say that black is fine to use. It's too messy here. I need to clean this up still. God dang it. I hope that works. I gotta stop. Hold on. Gotta... The foot's a bit off now. What the hell? What the hell happened there? Oh, it's because I freaking... I see what happened there. It's because it looks like it's like broken now, so I gotta color that in. There we go. That's better. The knee's a bit... the foot... Oh my god, I just saw what's wrong with the leg too. I gotta fix this. I gotta fix it. The leg looks too much. No, That's just great. So the leg is actually coming in, so I need to clean this up more. It's getting kind of crowded here, you know. There's just this random green now. I need to get rid of this. Is this part of it? Yes. I don't know how to do this part. How's this looking black and white, actually? I need to watch. I need to check that out. Black. I'm losing too much. I need this color. Oh, that is the same. What the hell? Oh, it's a bit different. It's not as green. The heck? Let's see, maybe if I do a straight line. I need to figure out how this cape works. I'm using a mouse right now to give me more control, honestly. issue is here, I think. I need to, like, erase some of this, honestly. I think that's where I'm getting caught up. And then I just need a brighter. The cape isn't even blue. Hold on, it's this color. It's like a purplish, so let me just... And they don't even have this part. They just have right at the seams here, so I can just do this. If I can get just... it's too much. Alright, let me just... Okay. There we go. That's fixed. That took a bit. Why did I have to make it so dark? Yeah, that's way better. I can add a bit more, though. Yeah, I think that's something's wrong with that foot. Hold on, I need to fix this. It's I can tell immediately that it's yeah, no foot bends like that. It's just this. I need to pop this out a bit more. Okay. This is metallic, so you know what? Let me just... And then always have just a little line. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's what's going on. I'm not drawing. This is metallic. I should be texturing this a bit more. I need like a texture brush. Let me just do this real quick and then see if this will work. Oh yeah, there's no. Yeah, perfect. And then I can just. This should give it some texture. And then I can just lower the opacity. There we go. I think that's. I could do. There's more work I could be done, but whatever. Where is that part of the glow? Okay, it's there. Alright, time to clean this up. What is happening? I completely ruined this drawing, I think. I don't know. Anyways, I think this is done. Thank you guys for watching. Sleep well and goodbye.